Emily's a brave girl. She could fend for herself and didn't need to be a damsel in distress. She's funny, smart, bubbly, and cheerful. Her smile lit up the room. She was beautiful, as if that even mattered. But no matter what she looked like, I've always loved her anyway. I love Emily in case if you didn't notice. What was not to like about her? Pretty, smart, cheerful. It was all I ever want. She had these weird quirks too, and she said she hated them, but I thought they were cute. Sometimes she even make this little squeak type of noise whenever she was surprised. Other times she was caught off guard with her white eyes would widen as if she had been 10 times more beautiful than before. It was adorable and she looked so innocent like that. She had two solid best friends that she wasn't afraid to make new ones. She was confident but moodiest. She was always nice to everyone that she met. Anyway, Emily was a very nice and pretty brave during the day. At night was when I realized how vulnerable she actually is. Emily loved reading just like me, and when it got really late, she sometimes sneaked into the living room to read a book, and only with the light from her cell phone. Don't ask me why she did that. It was strange, but the only part I cared about was when she went to the hallway. She'd go into the hallway and it'd be pitch black. Sure, her phone light would help a little, but not really. At the weird time of the night, I bet so many monsters would have just run through Emily's head, grabbing her and dragging her from behind from her family forever. So she runs all the way down the hall and into her bed. She giggles a bit when she gets underneath the bed covers. Probably to scolding herself for being so scared, so she turns on her iPod and sleeps through the night. Very calmly, probably forgetting ever being so scared in the first place. While Emily sleeps peacefully, I stay awake. Emily thinks monsters would attack her in the plain sight, but she's wrong. Emily thinks that it's just her imagination, but she's wrong yet again. When she falls asleep, I carefully climbed over her and lay down beside her. She doesn't stir when I turn on my side to stare at her. I wonder at these times what it would be like to grow old with Emily. I stare at her for what seems to be forever. As I lean in closer, so close that I can see her whole face in perfect clarity. My god, she is really beautiful. Then I kissed her. She doesn't even wake up. She doesn't jump away. All she does was lay limp. I close my eyes, feeling her lips warm mine. It was a fleeting moment. I almost feel, well, alive. But that's only for a moment. When I open my eyes back and my heart sinks, I'll never know what it is to sit with Emily in the summer, holding her soft hand, her scent fingers on my fingertips, but only for a brief second. It never lasts long, though. It never will. I get out of her bed, readjust her covers, and then look down. She is really beautiful. I will always love Emily, even when she jumps away from my shadow, even when she pretends not to see me day in and day out, even when she lies about dreaming about me, but even though she opens her eyes to see me, and even when she screams. And that, my little pretties, was Emily. I was gonna call this one a creepypasta, but I really don't see this being a creepypasta. I find this being more of a feels pasta. My final thoughts on the story? Pretty good pasta, actually. Like, I really do like this pasta, about, with Emily being, somebody, very beautiful, and then she ends up, going on with her day and everything goes well. And I have to say, I do find this to be more of a feels pasta than a creepy pasta. I just don't know why, but I found this one to be pretty something in my opinion. Like it's a good story. Like I'm not going to lie, it was a really good story. I did actually like how the pasta went out, especially with the whole concept of its own self, the good grammar, the sentence structuring, the storyline. Basically, everything about this one just went out very beautifully. Like, I mean, I've never actually heard of this story before until, well, just like at least maybe a year or so ago. I'm not really sure. But I mean, it's a pretty good story for what this one is. Now, Thankfully, though, I really do like how, the grammar was good. Although, for some reason, the only thing I didn't really get, and it was kind of confusing, was the fact that it kind of sounded, well, it sounded more of like a feels pasta than a creepy pasta. I really don't understand or know what that happens to be the case, but I think that's just what this story really was. So, oh boy. I never really understand about this story or anything like that. Like, this story was definitely pretty it was pretty good. Like, I haven't really heard too many narrations of this until I told just recently, because when I first heard of this story, I was not really that interested in the story. I don't even know why, but for some reason I wasn't really that interested in the story. I just didn't really find this story to be, enjoyable or something. Maybe that could be it or something. I'm not sure. But I mean, the story was not terrible or anything like that. I didn't for whatever reason, I just didn't really care for the story at the time. But after when I heard a couple narrations of the story, like one of the first ones being Creeks Pasta, Sunset Bard, I think that's how we say it. And like a couple other people I have heard narrated the story, and I honestly didn't really wasn't really that interested in it back then. But I really have to say it's a pretty good curry pasta. Although I do find this one to be more of a feels pasta. Maybe it is a curry pasta, but who really knows, to be honest? I really have no idea. But I guess with that said, it's still a really good story. I'm not gonna lie. I still really find this one to be, a pretty good concept. Now, with that being the case, that being said, I actually found this one to be, a pretty good concept for the story. It was well made in detail, and I do have to say was I really do like the good grammar along with the sentence structuring, the storyline. Everything about this was just flat out amazing, especially with how the whole concept went out. It's pretty good for what this one is. So, yeah, I really have to say I didn't really get into this pasta till like I think just recently. So yeah, that's something I'm definitely gonna be honest right here. It's a pretty good story. Now, I did see this on the regular creepypasta wiki, so that's actually where I got the story was from the creepypasta wiki. I really do like it, and I really recommend you guys go ahead and check this story out for yourselves. Like, you will not be disappointed once you see it. So, I guess with that being the case and with that being said, yeah, I don't know who the original author of this story is, so yeah, to the author, I can't seem to find who you really are at the time at this time, but I really don't know who I don't really know who the original author for this story is at this time, but I'm gonna sit there and say this. If I do find out who the original author is, I'll be sure to give you proper credit. So to the author, I'll be sure to give him or her proper credit if I do find out who the original author of the story is. So yeah, I guess with that being the case, that being said, I'm gonna sit here and wrap up the review. I do find this to be more of a feels pasta, although it wasn't really that scary. I do have a think that it might be a monster because Emily, has been having these feelings or something like that. I don't really know, for be honest, because this one is not really, not really too much of a creepy pasta, but it's still a pretty good one. Like, I mean, it does have creepiness in it, which I'm gonna give it that. But to me personally, I didn't really find this to be scary, at least to my note. But anyways, with that being the case, that being said, yeah, this is simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regarding these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be a what to give this one? I'll give this one a 10 out of 10 It was a good creepypasta. It was really well done. There was a good concept for it, and I really do appreciate the time and effort that was put into the story. So that's actually why it's getting a 10 out of 10. I know it's not scary, but I do find this one to be rather enjoyable. At least to me, that is. So, anyways, with that being the case, that being said, what did you guys think about this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.